Hello, I've done a front wheel bearing on my S203 CDI Mercedes Benz S203. It's a W203 model, 2007. So it's one of the last ones of the 203s. My front wheel bearing's roaring because somebody maladjusted it and left it loose. Well, I reparked it and tightened it up, but after a few thousand miles it started to roar. So 17mm to get the wheel off, and it's got your special socket. Use that to take it off. I've got a ratchet, big screwdriver, a couple of pliers, a couple of drifts, a small hammer. I need to take this brake caliper off, which is two, I think they're 18 or 19 bolts at the back. So what you do is take the cap off the fuel, off the brake reservoir, take the cap off, and then I just lever back the pads to loosen this off, and take two screws off under here, one there and this other one didn't roll it. Take the caliper off, tie it up onto the spring, it's out of the way. Take this cap off here, and there's a nut with an Allen key screw in it, so I need to get the right Allen key size. I've got sockets as well, and undo that. Take the disc off, and then the hub should come off, and then change the bearing in the hub. So this is a non-driving, so it's rear wheel drive, so it's two tapered roller bearings that we have to change. Okay, cheers. So when you just have to pry this open a wee bit. You just get it in between the discs and the pads, and just open up a bit. If you push down on this bit here, you can easily get it to open a wee bit, just enough to get this loose. So it's loose so that the caliper will come off. Watching you do that, you're going to hurt your finger. So we're going to take the bolts off the bottom. Right, so these are 18mm on here, on there, so it's an 18mm, and then use your grunge bar here, get it in, so it helps to have the wheel at a bit of an angle. Just put that in there. I've already loosened this bit, and you just push down the grunge bar, or you can give it a tap with a mallet or something to get it to come loose. So there's one screw here, there's another one underneath, and then this will come off. So I'm going to go and get an elastic and tie it up to there. Okay, cheers. There you can see the brake caliper bolts there, that one, and there's one below it. Anyway, so there's a bolt there, and there's another bolt underneath, so this will come off once those two bolts are off, and I'll tie it up to here. Right, I've got it tied off for now. It's not very great, but it'll do me for now. There's the two bolts that come out. So you would get them clean, and then when you put them back you use thread lock on them, which is like blue stuff. I need to take this disc off now. There's a little screw here that needs to come out. I'm not entirely sure what the hell that is. I'll get a wire brush. Once I've got the disc off, I take this cap off. I had a real pain getting this off, so I had to put a wee slot in it with my wee grinder. Then I had to knock it out with a hammer and a centre punch. So my small hammer wasn't great, so I used the big lump hammer there. So when you put these back in, although I'm pretty sure I did, I put copper grease on it and I never did it too tight, but it was just a real swine to come out, so I'm going to have to replace that. And then the disc comes off. You're left with this, which is the hub. So all you got to do is get this off with a punch that off, and then inside there's a nut. It's starting to rain now, so I'm going to put some stuff away. So once you get this cap off, you just tap it off with a drift and a hammer, See this nut, this retains the bearings in. So you've got an outer bearing on the outside here, and it's held in with this nut. And then under here where I'm rubbing, there's a wee screw. It's a little Allen key screw. So you get the new one. The new pack comes with a new screw. So check the size on the new screw and it should be the same as that one. And then get in there and loosen it off and take this nut off. So this is now a new pack here. See the part of the nut on it. It's an SKF set. Yeah, and inside it I've already taken out with a wee little screw and a new cap. So there's a wee screw there. It turns out it's the same size as the Allen key that was on the wee bolt that held the disc one. It's unbuggered up, but it's just a 5mm, so you can either get a wee Allen key socket, which this is, or you can get an Allen key. I'm going to try an Allen key this time. Take it off. So you see I've got the ratchet on it here. You just undo that nut there. That's how that screw. Once you undo it, the nut comes loose, and then you just unwind it. If for some reason you can't get it off, which is what I couldn't do there, is you get a big, huge 1.5 inch socket, and it fits over the top, and then you get a big 3/4 drive ratchet and undo it, and you can get enough on it to get onto the screw and loosen it. Obviously that's because it's too tight in the first place. So I just undo that and then this hub comes off, but when you take it off, catch everything in a rag. Because it'll all be really greasy. Alright, so just do that just now. Take this off. You need to keep this nut, because all you're doing is replacing that wee screw. I'm reusing the nut. Let's take that off, and then let's see the wee outer bearing, and then you pull that off. Then you see the inner bearing. You see it's pretty dry looking in there. And then you see your inner races there, which is what we're going to do next, is knock out the inner races. So I need to get this off as well, so I'll get someone in there and hook that out. Get it all clean. Now this is a bit unusual, so just take this off. And should clean. So see what's going on boost. Normally it all comes out in a winner. You can see for some reason this is got a lot of crap in it. And there's a seal at the back here which needs to come out as well. This is where your ABS thing is on the back of here. The sensor is on the back of there. And over here somewhere there's an ABS sensor which reads the back of this here. Just all need a good clean. I will show you that ABS thing there. That is right there. It comes down up here, just up here. There's an ABS sensor bit there. You can't really see it, but it reads the back of the bearing. So when you buy the bearing, you've got to make sure that it's the right one, because it needs to have the magnetic strip thing on the back of this. The back of the wheel, and this thing here is part of the ABS system. It's not a tooth ring, this is a hub seal. Right, so that's that needs cleaned up. That needs cleaned up. And I need to change the inner races, the inner and outer bearings. Grease up the new bearings. I need to put the back bearing on this, and then put the new one of these on it. Ring on it. Put it back on it there. Back on it there. Then put the outer bearing and then the nut with the new screw and adjust it. I'm actually going to keep the old one of these, which goes on the back of the hub. Slots in there, because normally you have to pry it out and it damages it when you take it out. So that's basically a spare, I'll keep that. So I'm just banging out this race just now, so I'm putting punch right there, and that's a race that goes all the way around, so you just need to go round it and bang it, it'll come out eventually. Right, so that's the first one out from the underside. It just fell out of here, just fell out. So you just turn it around and do the other side now. You can just see the lip there of the bottom one. So you got to get the punch in there, into that edge there. So I probably need to get a weird punch. Try and knock that bit out there. That was a real pain, that, trying to knock that out at the bottom of there. Yeah, I used loads of punches, I couldn't get on the edge yet. So, last ditch attempt to try this 30mm socket on a 3/4 drive. And it just fitted through the hole. So it managed to catch a lip at it and it just knocked out no bother, so I wish I'd done that from the start. Anyway, I've got a 46mm socket there. And I put this new race in on the big side. So I just basically put it on there, tapped it in. I used a copper punch, a cheap copper punch there to make sure it was all lining up, so you can see. Kind of need to straighten that again. Anyway. So there's a bearing for it. So what we'll do now is put loads of grease in it, and then put it in there. Right, and then I take my new seal. Where the hell I put that? Next thing there. I'm not supposed to treat things like this, however, and that'll go on the top of there, like that, you see? And that'll be that side, and then I'll do the other side. I need to put loads of grease in there first to make sure that this is properly seated all the way around. I use a tiny bit of oil to help me put it in. So I'm just going to have to pack this up now, and then put this on, and then it goes on this half shaft on the inside of the wheel in the winner. Right, I've got it greased up now. I'm just going to put this in now, which fits in here. Just got to be kind of careful with this and how you put it in. I'm going to use a rubber mallet. So I just used this rubber mallet here and just tapped it in. A bit harder than that, obviously, until it was flush. So I'm going to do the other side now. I probably messed up there. I probably should have done both races first before we put the bearing in the back, but I need to persevere now. So I'm just going to put the smaller side race in, and you keep the bearing out. And once you put it on the half shaft, then you put the new small bearing on the outside. I need to put the race in first, and then pack this bearing, and I'm ready to go back to the car. I just banged in the inner race, so the outer race, the small side race there, into the hub. And I used this one, which is a 1 3/8 socket. I think I used one 7/16 first, and then I used that one just to finish off. You just got to make sure it's sitting nice and flush. Now, all I've got to do now is grease this up and clean up the stub axle and change the wee nut bolt, and then I'm ready to fit.